Hey, welcome to Tasty Thursday. We have another great football food today. Now, today's is a little bit different because we've done some more main dish appetizers, but today we're actually doing a sweet or more dessert type appetizer. So we have just a few supplies. I've already got our oven preheating at 350, so that's nice and hot and ready to go. So we need sugar, we need cinnamon, we need a tube of crescent rolls, we need some non-stick spray, and we need some softened butter, and we need a baking dish. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and lightly spray our baking dish. This will help. I haven't even said what we're making. We're making mini cinnamon rolls. You probably were wondering that, weren't you? So by spraying our pan, this will keep our mini cinnamon rolls from sticking to the bottom. So we're just going to set that aside for just a minute. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, we've got some butter that I've already softened. So to that, we're going to add some sugar. Dump that right in. And then to that, we're going to add some cinnamon. And I've already got my measurements. I'm making a half batch, but I'll put the measurements for the full batch with the video. Because this actually makes 40 cinnamon rolls. That would be a lot for Taste Tester to eat. Of course, I guess I could help them eat those, couldn't I? Okay, so we're going to just stir this together. It's going to get a little bit thick. Ooh, it's a nice, beautiful brown, and it smells really, really good. This is a great recipe for fall. Now, the reason we're making this for Tasty Thursday with our football food is because they're tiny, so they're finger food, and most appetizers are small, which would be perfect when you're eating a football game, when you're watching a football game, and you're hungry. You don't even have to pay attention. You can just reach for a plate and put it in your mouth. Reach for a plate, put it in your mouth. Because you're going to be so captivated by the game. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside. And now we're going to take our crescent rolls, and again, we've used these before. You guys are pros at opening these. It'll pop when we open it. You just pull this. Ooh. Ready? There we go. It's like a little explosion. Okay, so we're going to roll this out. Now, these come, in other recipes, we have separated these. You'll see that they come actually in triangles. And for some recipes, we take those apart. For this recipe, we're not, though. We're going to leave them all together. So we're going to just push. This is called a perforation, where it's this part. Whoops. This part right here is called a perforation, and that means that it's easy to tear apart. But we're not going to do that on this recipe. So we're going to push it out into a rectangle, just pat it out again. Always have clean hands. And now we're going to take just a little bit of our cinnamon mixture and put it in the middle. And then we're going to take our spreader, you could use a knife too, and spread it around. I think I might add just a little bit more. Because this smells so delicious, we want them to be nice and moist. Okay. So once you've got it spread around nicely, what you're going to do is grab it at the end and just roll it up. Just like that. Okay, so now you've got something that looks like this. We'll push that end in a little bit. I think some of our dough is trying to escape. Okay, so now we're going to take a knife and we're going to cut it just into 5 pieces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what you can see the inside. You can see the cinnamon. It looks like little cinnamon rolls. So we're going to just put these in our greased pan. And you can have them touching if you want. They don't have to be touching. Okay. So now we've got these. I'm going to go ahead and finish them up, and then I'm going to pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, our mini cinnamon rolls are baking, and I have to tell you, my kitchen smells amazing. I can't wait until they're finished. And one thing that we have to do when they come out is put the glaze on top. So we're going to make the glaze right now. So I've got some butter that I've softened, and to the butter I'm going to add some milk. And we might need to add a little bit more milk later. We'll just see how it mixes up. It can either be as thick or as thin as you like it. And then we're going to add some vanilla. And we add just a teensy tiny bit of vanilla. Just that much. And then we're going to add, because it's football food, and as you can tell, the taste tester and I like the Packers, we're going to add a little bit of Packer green food coloring. We'll have green cinnamon rolls. It will be delicious, and it'll be quite a little surprise for our taste tester. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up, and then the next, ooh, look how green that is. That's perfect! Now if you wanted to be really fancy, you could do some green and some gold if you're Packers fans, or some of you are different kinds of fans from a city that starts with a C and rhymes with Ago. You could do blue and orange, or some others of you live in a city that starts with a D and rhymes with Menver. You could do your team colors too. Taste tester's laughing at me, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to add our powdered sugar. Now sometimes this is called confectioner's sugar. It's the same thing. So if you see something called confectioner's sugar, that's what you want. We're going to level that off. And we're going to dump it into our bowl. Put this lid back on so we don't get powdered sugar everywhere. And now we're going to just stir. Now it looks to me like we're going to need to add a little bit more milk, so I'm going to go ahead and do that at this point. A little more milk. And then we just stir. Stir, stir, stir. We'll be happy little stirs. Now if you like your icing to be thicker, you don't have to add the extra milk, but I kind of like it a little on the thin side. And you can drizzle it all over the mini cinnamon rolls. Look at that. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is beautiful. This is the most beautiful Packer green icing I have ever seen in my life. So we're going to just keep stirring, or I'm going to keep stirring until we get all the lumps out. And then once I get the lumps out, I'm going to just let it sit for a few minutes. We have 10 more minutes on our cinnamon rolls. So by the time they're finished, this will be nice and blended together, and we'll have no lumps. Okay, our mini cinnamon rolls are finished baking. They look great. They're just golden brown. And I'm getting ready to scoop some out and serve it up on a plate for our taste tester to enjoy. Let's see. I guess the pan's not really all that hot anymore. It's just warm. Okay, we'll do 4. That's a good number, I think. Okay, so I brought them on our plate. We'll arrange them nicely. And I have to apologize, I forgot one of our teams. You could also do blue and gold for the city that rhymes with ran through it. That's not a very good rhyme. But those of you who live there know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to take some of our Packer green icing and just drizzle it right on top. Now this would be a really fun recipe to make if you're having a football party and you had people who like different teams. You could do rolls with each team's colors. Just a little bit more. Perfect. Great. I'm going to go find our taste tester, see what he thinks of our Packers.